Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Griiix, and today we are going to quickly talk about the HP module sets. I always say to newcomers, if you don't know what you want to get the HP ones, because the HP one works for basically almost every single tank. Some better than the others, of course, but before I say anything, just want to make sure I repeat this in all of my module videos, is that if you end up getting a B grade and you feel like, oh, like I really want the A grade, I personally think that you shouldn't invest your 50 gems, which is $5 Canadian, on just trying to get the A grade, mainly because I'm just going to quickly show you. Let's just say the best of the best. All right, 180% at 8, you get 130 HP. However, in the B grade, you get a whopping 120. So the difference is 10 HP, and I'm gonna be honest, it's not worth the $5. Like, it's not gonna like make you lose or win any games if you do or not have any. But it's just nice. So if you're rolling for it and you end up getting the A grade, the one that you want, consider yourself lucky. But if you get the B grade, don't worry about it. You're not settling for less. It is just as good. That's how I see it. So let's quickly move on to the HP dig shot, right? So like I said before in my previous videos, there's two types of modules that require, the action to be done in one turn, or cumulative for the lifespan of the tank throughout the game. So you will see a total beside it. If you don't see a total, that means it needs to be done in one single shot. Now let's quickly go into the dig shot. Now most of the HP stuff works well with every single tank you can think of. Let's just quickly see. All right, like it just looking at most of the tank roster, obviously the ones that can do the explosions will benefit. So obviously Boomer will not, Phoenix maybe, I mean it's questionable. Hycon can kind of do it, right? Like Plaz can do it, Desto can do it. So there are a lot of tanks that can do it or achieve what it's asking for. However, some are better than the others. So let's quickly take a look. Now, for me, I use all the HP modules primarily for my bungee setup. Now, with my Bigfoot, I opted to go for the HP Dig 800, mainly because I know Bigfoot can do 800 with one single item, regardless whether it's a dual plus, a drill, grenades, and if there's a cloud, then I don't even need an item. So I know for sure there's a very high possibility I can get this 800. Now, you might ask, well, what about the 1000, right? Like, let's quickly take a look at this. I'm just going to be honest with the HP Dig 1000, even at Bigfoot's unmeasurable terrain destruction, it will not be able to do that unless it's got the dual plus or the dual. So I don't like using my dual with Bigfoot. I only like using the dual plus with my Bigfoot. So I want to, like, the reason why I opted to go for the 800 is because if I do get a dual, I can still get the 800 without using a dual and possibly just getting a cloud, so that I can save that like the dual for my Mookie or for my blank. It doesn't really matter, but I know for sure when I get a dual, I won't be using it, right? That's kind of my mindset here. Now, with the drop 170, it is the best. That honestly, anything less than that is kind of just like a participation prize, right? Because a lot of tanks can drill and can dig, and it only takes a few shots for you to get 170. Now, honestly, it takes one shot for Bigfoot and blank to get it, so it's a no-brainer that I'm putting the 170 on both my blank and my Bigfoot. right? However, for my Mookie, I know it can drop, but it's not going to be as reliable and efficient, but I know Mookie can make that happen, so I opted to just use the total tank drop at 110, because that is the next best one that I have. I don't have the 140, I think. I don't know. Even if I did, I don't know why I'm not using it. Anyways, so as you can see, I am opting to use the HP total attack, mainly because if you know, like the total attack, it's asking you to do 120%, 150%, or 180%. I always say the 180% is meant for world boss. Now, where is my world boss stuff? Let's just quickly take a look. Mainly because with world boss, you can easily achieve the 180% worth of damage converted into HP, because you know the boss just likes to take it to the face, right? So I can't find any other situations where the 180% makes sense, mainly because even if you put a Vega Boomer, let's just say, where's my Vega Boomer? All right, look at this. I have 600, basically 600 HP at 180%. That is nearly double. That's 1,100 something damage. That is a lot of damage. So I don't think my Boomer's gonna live that long to be able to shoot 1,000 damage. If I am able to, I guarantee you the game is over already. That's why I would never use the 180. However, do I use anything? No, here. Where's my other Boomer? I think I put 120. I don't know. Yeah, so I put that 120 because it is the next best. At 75 HP, you're basically trading like whatever HP you have for 10% of your of the healing power, right? You might ask, well, Griiix, why don't you just do the 150? Again, 700 times 1.5 is about 1,000 damage. Again, I don't think my Boomer's gonna live that long, and even if it does, the game is over, because if I'm able to do 1,000 damage on my drop, trust me, the game is virtually over. Whether I lose or they lose, it doesn't matter, but at the end of the day, that's how I see it, right? So like when you get your module, if you have nothing else, of course just use it, but if you have something else, then I would strongly advise you to kind of like do the math in your head, right? Like, how many turns will it take for me to get something? How many like how much damage do I need to do? Because all those play into effect. It's not just, oh, this module like it gives me a 21% attack, it gives me 130 HP, but if you can't achieve it, you're wasting the module and the space for your tank, right? So being very cautious about it is very important. Now again, I opted to go for the 600 for my blank, mainly because I can get this with one shot, even if I don't have explosion. Actually, sorry, I lied. Even I only have 2 explosions. I am able to get the 600 dig with just these 2 explosions. That's why I opted to get it, and because I know everyone's gonna be focusing on my blank, I want to get as many modules as I possibly can before it dies. So there's a lot of like thinking involved. So when you're choosing your HP stuff, so when you're choosing your HP stuff, right, like it's very important to kind of like tailor it to your tank. I'm just gonna quickly tell you, the B grade is actually very useful for a lot of other tanks. Let's say tanks that you're putting in the front position, you know, extra 30 HP or extra 45 HP is better than no HP. And it, you know, for your front tank to be able to do 60%, you can probably do it in 2 shots. For the 90%, you can probably do it in 2 shots, at worst maybe 3 if you don't miss, right? So any HP that you can just kind of like squeeze out of for your turn is always a good thing. For the tank drop, like if you use Knack Machine's weapon 2, you can probably get this one for sure. I'm not sure about the 80, I haven't really tested it, but I know for sure you can get the 50 with just 1 S2 shot. So knowing your tank and the capabilities of it is very, very important. Like you can basically try it all out in the easy mode AI. Like I said here, for instance, I'm just gonna quickly show you. Let's say this. Okay, so oh wait, do I even have the module? Let's just see. Do I have a module? No, I do not. Okay, so do I have any? What's my worst one? All right, let's I have some time. Let's do the 80 and see if it works. Right. I'm just gonna quickly demonstrate. After this demonstration, I promise you I'm gonna shut the fuck up. All right. You know, figuring out which module works and which doesn't is very, very important. So the 80 doesn't work. I'm gonna try one more time. It wasn't a perfect like core hit. Maybe I remember it's the 50 for sure. I really don't remember if it's the 80, mainly because I don't play Knack all that much anymore. Because I really, really love my Dark Knack, but we're not gonna be talking about tanks right now. We are strictly talking about okay, so the 80 does not work, which is a little sad, but honestly, it's okay. So even if you get, I know a lot of people use Knack, so even if you're rolling for, you know, the HP set and you get a 50, it's actually not a bad thing. It really isn't. I really don't mind it, because when you're dropping, honestly, you're only going to be able to shoot a few times. So if you can get like a module on your first drop turn, regardless of, you know, what type it is, that is pretty good on its own. So that's kind of how I see it, honestly. All right, let's see. Do I get it? Yes, I do. There you go. See, one Knack shot will do it. Again, you know, this, I'm just gonna quickly demonstrate or like go over which one it works. If I remember correctly, Plaz works. Hycon, if you kind of missed, you'll dig them, so that works. Bigfoot, no brainer. Knack, we just showed. Blank, yes. Mook. Okay, well, I gotta go, but basically, there are a lot of tanks that can kind of dig and kind of not, right? So Elephant is one of them. So basically, just think about your tank. If they are able to create a decent size hole upon impact, you will want to use the HP. So if you are new to this, I strongly recommend your first, I guess, 10 modules that you'll be spending, which ends up being 500 gems. Just spend it on the HP because it works for literally 99% of the tanks. Sorry, okay, let's be real. Maybe 90%, not 99, okay? Because there's only like 43 tanks. Anyways, that is it for me in terms of the HP stuff. If you have any questions, do ask it in the comments below. If you don't agree or agree, let me know in the comments as well. Until then, I am going to fuck off because it is Mother's Day, so I'll post this probably like sometime next week. Anyways, toodaloo.